I'm dating a guy who's like a securely attached green flag. And I've had several instances where I'm like, I'm the red flag. It's me. The problem here is me.
This is probably more of a a controversial opinion. I feel that because of the harm women have done to themselves mentally, that they can't handle the men that are actually emotionally intelligent, actually loving, respecting, actually good guys, nice guys, actually has his shit together. It's just men can't handle the new age men that they claim they want, because they themselves are, they have been damaged thanks to so many harmful ideology that don't make them suitable for relationships. Now, I think a lot of the ideologies make them suitable for, career women, but it doesn't make them suitable for relationships, because they are very red flaggy, toxic. So I think a lot of women are stuck in a position where they want the men that, like I said, are green flags, respectful, loving, wants to get married, wants to be a good father. They're emotionally intelligent. They are intelligent. They have their shit together. They work hard. All this stuff. Okay, but they don't fit those men, or they're not good partners for those men. So they are stuck with getting, the typical chads or whatever. But those men are not emotionally intelligent. Those men don't have viable futures. Those men are poor partners themselves. So I believe that is the problem with a lot of modern day dating, where women have they have developed ideologies that make them unsuitable to be good partners. And yet I believe, this is all personal opinion, I believe men have, modern day men, a lot of men, not saying all men, have evolved in the sense that they are, like I said, all those traits, but they're not attracting good partners, because honestly I believe a lot of women are just big red flags, and they really don't realize it. They don't realize it's them. They just continuously blame the man. So,
Saying I'm just a girl is so funny. Like, I'm 28 years old, but like, yes, I'm just a girl. Like, if a man were to say I'm just a boy, oh my God, like, that would make me physically ill to hear a man say that. Like, no, you're a man. You go out to work and you do important man things as a man should. But me, a 28-year-old girl, I am just a girl. I shouldn't have responsibilities because I'm literally just a girl.
this is funny in the way that I'm not saying that I advocate for like age gap dating. But one of the biggest things that people talk about with age gap dating, oh, she's so young, her frontal lobe haven't developed. Exhibit A, 28. Does it seem like her frontal lobe has developed? To say that, oh, I'm just a girl, I shouldn't be dealing with responsibilities. Does it seem like her frontal lobe developed? And the whole frontal lobe developed thing is stupid. Okay, it has been debunked, and it's not really as it's not used as intended. Okay, but this is a thing where we're getting more and more of this. How we're seeing, I guess, a huge uptick in how selfish, conceited, narcissistic a lot of women are. It is insane, next level. To say that a man is duty bound, is responsible for working, taking care of whatever, but a woman at 28 is not. It's like he needs to do his adult responsibility, but as a 28-year-old, no, like you could shirk it. You don't. I mean, like you don't need to follow gender roles. Hell, you don't even need to be an adult. But a man, at whatever age, he needs to. This is the problem I see more and more in dating. This is the thing where this is why more and more men are holding women accountable. More and more men speaking out of it. Women like that, is the root of the problem in the dating market. They are the reason. Logic like that is the reason men's content has popped up, has has experienced a boom, has even been created. Right? You can say what 20 years ago, men's content wasn't really a thing, or barely anything. Now it's bigger than ever. Why? Because of women like that are popping up more and more. The absolute selfishness, the absolute hypocrisy and delusion. That's the thing where I don't think men's content is about hating women, right? It's not about hating women. I'm not saying all, but I mean I'm sure there's some, but in totality, men's content isn't about hating women. It's about pointing out the delusions, the hypocrisies, the inconsistency, the absolute illogicalness of what women say and what women do. Period. It's not about like cursing at women. It's not about calling women out their name. It's not about like insulting women. It's about holding women accountable for their actions and words, and to show you how insane a lot of women are.
You white people need to understand that I'm talking about you collectively.
Well, liberals, she's talking to you. 'Cause a lot of you think that you're excluded from a lot of these racist viewpoints.
Not individually. I married a white man. I have mixed children.
I didn't see that coming.
I'm completely aware, okay, that not every single white person
Your husband being one? I would hope. What is going on?
is evil
No shit.
and terrible and incapable of empathy and sympathy and learning.
How is this real? Like, how does one get to the point where they go, you know what I'm posting today?
Everything. And that doesn't just come with just, oh, we're just here partying. No, you raped, you pillaged, you stole. Collectively.
I don't envy the husband in this case at all. Can you imagine the things that this woman puts on his plate and blames him for, even though he may not have had anything to do with it?
I gotta say, a lot of men have zero self-respect. Getting with women that can call other people like that, can have so much hate, is absolutely insane. And this woman is just a hypocrite and delusional. This is the thing. I really want people who are, let's say black people, who are so like everything is about race. Everything is about racism. Just like she said, rape, pillage, all that shit. I'm sorry. You think black people don't do that? You think it's like this is a thing where I'm really tired of the racism talk, because it makes it seem like, oh, skin tone is what makes people do things. No, it's character. It's who you are inside. You think African tribes don't, conquer other tribes? You don't think that? You don't think that they enslave other tribes? Or you don't think that they were the ones who sold black slaves to the white man? This is a thing where stop thinking about color. This is the problem I'm seeing. Like, because we constantly think about color, we ignore character. And it gets tiring. It gets to a point where what you're doing is delusional. It's not helpful, because you only view people by color. You only view people by color. And it gets like, it makes your logic nonsensical. And it's insane that this woman can blame white people and marry one. How is that even supporting your black community when you marry outside of your race? The hypocrisy in that is absolutely insane. It's like, you know what? Like, I believe, this is, like I said, I've said this other times before, why I left the Democrat Party. There's so many delusional and hypocrites in it. There's a decently viral video of a man saying something controversial, where it is getting tiring how women dress when they go to the gym. And I saw another clip where another woman said, there's very little, it's like it's hard to find gym clothes. Why not wear sweats? Why not wear a hoodie? Why not wear shorts? I mean, actual shorts, not booty shorts. And a shirt, a t-shirt. I don't know, is the women's anatomy that different that they need to wear very little, skin tight and very little? I agree. This is a thing where this shows you that women live in like a different world, where they complain that they know that they complain about men are dangerous and all this stuff constantly. Yet they do things to seem like men aren't dangerous at all. This is the thing where it's like they don't live in reality. I have never said men aren't dangerous, or watch out, or be cautious. But this is the thing where I feel like a lot of women invite danger. They are not cautious. That they don't realize that yes, it's not all men, but it's not all men are dangerous, but there are dangerous men out there. There are creepy men out there. Not all men are creepy, but there are creepy men out there. And I believe that a lot of women are not cautious in that. They try to invite danger. And I just feel like, why? It's needless. It's needless. Okay? I'm not saying, oh, just, what is it? Something by hindering your freedom, right? Your autonomy. You can dress whatever you want. Cool. But this is a thing where a lot of women don't understand there's consequences to actions, good or bad. I mean, we don't want bad things to happen, but it does happen. And we don't recognize that in some cases, in a lot of cases, we contribute to the consequences that happen in our life, okay? I'm not saying it's a good thing, right? It's not victim blaming, but I'm just saying that sometimes we need to take accountability for our actions. That some things we don't need to do. That maybe if we fall into certain situations, maybe we have a hand in it. Now, I'm not saying we deserve anything, and I'm not saying a woman deserves anything, but I'm saying that let's take accountability. Maybe you have a hand in certain bad outcomes. Again, I'm not saying you deserve it, and I'm not saying, oh, let's teach men. Men know it. It doesn't mean that there aren't bad people out there.
The more cities we're running these like speed dating cornhole leagues in, the more I'm convinced dating as a single straight woman in your like late 20s or 30s seems impossible. Like we're spending so much money on paid ads for guys and girls and testing out different creatives and whatever. Girls, it feels like you can sneeze and they will like put in the effort and sign up. We don't even advertise to them. Guys, it is pulling teeth. And you have to be so sensitive about how you describe it. Girls and guys agree that speed dating sounds desperate and like, kind of corny, no pun intended. But the girls are like swallowing their pride and they're like, you know what, I don't like the apps, so sure, I'll try speed dating cornhole. Guys, we've noticed with testing different like creatives and ways to phrase it, they are so incredibly sensitive about how you describe it. You almost have to like make it seem like a little hangout session, and the girls are already there, and like it's annoying that we have to cater to the straight men. But
maybe being a gay man does not give you the knowledge of how to create an event that would attract men. Maybe, right? This is a thing where because he is a gay man, he doesn't understand the mindset of a straight man. This is a thing where, and I saw a comment saying, a woman said, the male loneliness epidemic is our fault. This is a thing where like gay men and women seem to not understand. Men that go to these events, right, that need to go to these events, they're not the type of men that women want. Men that don't need to go to these events, those are the type of men. Men know what it's like to go to these dating events. Most men get rejected. So, logically thinking, why do I want to pay to go to some event that, I really don't even want to go to, or a sporting event, whatever. I think they said pickleball, that I really didn't even want to do, pay for it, and get rejected. Or sit in a corner, because no one's interested in me. A lot of men gone to clubs and know how that feels, right? Because no women want him because he's not desirable or attractive. This is a thing where I will put a bit of thought. For men that are doing well in dating, why would they need to pay for this event? Why? Men that don't have an issue with getting dates, getting women. It's the type of men that would go to these events. The men that don't have it easy. Don't have it easy. So if he doesn't have it easy in dating, or it doesn't even have to be easy. He's not successful or even a little bit successful in dating. He gets rejected often. Those are the type of men that would go. But then why would he go? To get more rejected. This is why maybe thinking that you're a gay man, you don't understand the issues of straight men. Just like women don't understand the issues of straight men. They're saying, the male loneliness is our fault. This is a thing where It's not that men haven't tried. Men have been there, done that. Men have gone to events, gone out, okay, to meet women, and it fails. This is the problem when you leave the burden of performance on men's shoulders. Men are the ones who have to ask women out. Men are the ones who have to court women. Men have to do the effort. This is not pride. It's tiring. It's tiring to do that. Be the effort of asking women out and getting rejected. It's just ridiculous. It is.
I never feel more seen than when somebody sees my girlfriend and I and acknowledges that that is my girlfriend and not my son.
I did the research, y'all. If you're wondering how there's any confusion over what her girlfriend looks like as opposed to what a son would look like, yeah, I'm going to show you why people are confused, okay? 3, 2, 1, that. Right. Yeah.
I want to preference that if you date a person for who they are, cool, right? Who they are inside, cool. But this is thing where sometimes I don't understand that community. You know, the lesbians, I don't know, even gay or whatever, okay? It's that, let's say if you're a lesbian, aren't you dating women that are actual women? Like, they are feminine? Because then what's the purpose of dating a woman that's honestly just like a man? You know, studs, butches, women that have masculine energy. What's the difference? What's the point? Because it's like, they are more emotional. There are plenty of men that are emotionally intelligent, or there are plenty of men that are a bit feminine but still, or kind of a bit feminine in maybe nature or mindset or whatever, but they're still men. What's the point of dating women when the women are honestly quite close in mindset and acting like a man? That's the thing, where especially the butches, the studs. What's the point? I personally don't understand. Because if you're saying a woman may act a certain way, she acts like a man. Now, treat you a certain way. The women, because funny enough, looking at statistics, lesbian relationships are more violent than heterosexual relationships on average. So really, it's like you're not dating a less violent person. And the things I've seen, butches and masculine women are quite just as toxic or as violent as heterosexual men. That's the thing where, fine, if you're a lesbian, why aren't you dating women that are women, right? She's like a typical princess or like a feminine woman. That makes more sense to me. Just like, let's say a man that dates a man. Why are you dating a man that's feminine? And maybe it's the attraction, but I guess. I mean, if that's what you're attracted to, that's what you're attracted to. But it's like, it's funny if that's what you're attracted to, but like, just literally looking like a man or looking like a boy. So you're attracted to women, but the women are dressing and looking like men. Then what are you attracted to? That's the thing where it really don't make sense. Just like let's say men that say they're attracted to men. Well, the men that you're attracted to are dressing or acting like women. Then you practically are attracted to women. Now, if you're attracted to what's down below, it's like, I guess. But I don't know. I've always thought that was weird with that community. Now, like I said, if you are attracted to who they are inside, not because of the gender, then honestly, non-binary makes more sense than being lesbian or gay in what I see. Okay, like being attracted to someone who they are inside, not because their gender, whatever. Okay, I guess that makes bit more sense because you are purely attracted to the personality, not because they look man, they look woman. That's the thing. But I don't know. I just think that community shows how confused they are, and that level of confusion is unhealthy.
One of the things I hear all the time from stay-at-home moms is the complaints. My husband does not help out. But let's be real. If you don't work, your job is the home. Your job is the kids. And yes, even your husband is your job. So while you're frustrated that he just goes to work, he's carrying the full financial weight of the family. That is every bill, every mortgage payment, every grocery run, every little time that you want to treat yourself. He's got to take care of that. And on top of that, 9 times out of 10, he's drowning in work stress, office politics, the pressure of never failing. Because if he does, your entire life will collapse. Then he comes home to complaints that he's not available enough. He's not emotionally available enough. He doesn't help enough. He's lucky because at least at work he gets a break. Meanwhile, he has no safe space. He can't vent because if he does, he's weak or he's a complainer. He can't say he's exhausted because you're just going to say you're even more exhausted. His role is provider. It's machine, work, pay. Machine, work, pay, repeat. Like a robot. No check-ins, just higher, and higher expectations. And this is why men suffer in silence. Because society only checks on the moms and the kids. But what about him? He's the one who's sacrificing moments with his kids so that they can have the life that you want. He's the one breaking his back so you don't have to work. But he's not just a paycheck. He's not a robot. He's a good man. But he's also invisible. And when a man feels invisible for too long, he starts to wonder, why am I even here? Why am I here? And a lot of times, he'll go find somebody else who will make him feel appreciated. And then that'll give you even more ammo to shit all over him and drag him and then play the victim. This is a problem. And I'm really tired of hearing about the complaints from women on a daily basis who stay at home with their kids. That is your job. Manage your time a little bit better.
I want to say this. I honestly believe stay-at-home wives are a luxury that most people can't afford. If you want true partnership, make it a partnership. Work. Provide as well, equally. You're both providing equally, contributing equally, or how you determine equal. You're both contributing to the child care, child rearing, the house maintenance, house care, everything. It's equal. So no one's feeling overextended, no one's feeling used, no one's feeling like they're doing too much. That's true equality. That's true 50-50. Both people are contributing. I honestly believe stay-at-home wives, stay-at-home moms is a luxury that most women, most people, most family cannot afford. If you want partnership, your man contributing to all these other things that you complain about, provide. Take some stress, responsibilities off of his back so he can share in some of yours. This is a thing where I think the whole providership men is dying because, in essence, it doesn't fit women, modern women, because they want men to be more present, which is cool. I totally agree, totally understand. Well, you want it to work, provide, do it equally. So the well-being of the family, the success of the family is not all on his shoulders. So,
real quick, to my young ladies in your early 20s, late 30s, and you have went to college and you was like, I gotta be married by 30. Stop. Get off that clock. Take you some time, travel the world, sleep with every man that make your pussy purr. I mean, sleep with him. Sleep with him quick. Get that on out. Get it out you. And if your body don't respond negatively, keep him around. Keep him around so you keep your sleep number low. But if you have been sexually traumatized and you have not gotten the proper help, don't get married in your early 20s, late 30s. Don't get married at that time because you will be an earth disturber and you and this man will not make it. So fuck everybody you can. Get married when you want to, respectfully.
you know, I've said this before where I have no sympathy for women, but you know what? Watching that, this is why I may think I do have some sympathy for women, because honestly, women have no good role models. Women have no good role models because honestly, almost every woman on this fucking app is such a shitty role model. Every woman on this app is like practically the embodiment of misery loves company. The audacity for you to put a hashtag decentered men, but you know what? Sleep with every man that you know what makes your pussy pearl. That's how you decenter men. Sleep with a whole bunch of them. Sleep with a whole bunch of them. That's how you decenter men. And then also still the audacity to say if you are sexually traumatized, and then in the same breath also talk about having sex with a whole bunch of men, and then say, you know what, sleep with whoever you can, and then get married whenever you want. What the fuck is that? What the hell does that mean? You think racking up a huge ass body count, you think gaining all that trauma from dealing with a whole lot of men will make you suitable to be a wife? You don't think that advice will automatically give you the trauma of just being sexually destroyed? I swear. Sometimes I don't believe that women like other women. I really don't, because even though women listen to men and think that men hate them, right, by holding them accountable, but this is the thing with a lot of women, because they're so easily triggered and emotional, they can't understand the words men are saying. Men want better for women. Men do. Holding women accountable, telling them like, oh, know your actions and words have consequences. It can affect your life. It can affect your future. It's not hate. It's not hate. Saying women, don't be baby mamas. Saying women that, you know what, marry before you carry. Saying women, you know, have a bit more discernment with the men you date, with the men you have sex with. Saying all this, it's like, honestly, in my personal opinion, if you truly listen to what men say, I don't think a lot of men say things in a malice way. But women, honestly, they are the epitome of misery love company. Shit like that, you think that's gonna make you a better woman? You think that's gonna make you mentally healthy? You think that's gonna make you fit to be married? You think that's not gonna give you a life of just being used by a bunch of men? I swear. It was utterly disgusting. It really was. Listen to that woman's vile. It's tiring.
I don't like men that be like too geeked about dealing with me. Like, y'all ever met like a dude that's on your heels, but it's like too much, like they're too
They
excited.
said that's a red flag.
Showing love is a red
No,
flag.
overly showing love.
Like when niggas be like, oh my God, what made you with me?
Yes, like that right
That
there.
shows a red flag because I want to
Drink
like,
your
but that's a red flag is that you don't feel like you're on my level.
Yeah.
So now I'm stooping down to a level to try to deal with
that's-
you. You should be happy to deal with me.
Right,
But you
but-
should not be wondering what made me want to deal with you. Like that's
If you give women the option, they will tell themselves. This is why I like the quote, don't listen to what women say, pay attention to women's actions. I think a little while ago, a whole bunch of women were saying, oh, a relationship will only work if a man loves you more. And we all know, at least men and women love to, show ignorance about it, that that's not true. You don't respect a man that overly loves you, that loves you more. You go for the men that you, women, that you love more. Like those women say, if a man loves you too much, you turn off by it, because you think you are dating below your level. This is why men know it. That's why sometimes men don't even argue with women, because if you give them enough rope, they will hang themselves with it. They were the ones to contradict their own point of views. This is why it shows that, honestly, in my personal opinion, divorce rates show the truth. I guarantee you, a lot of those divorces, if not most of them, the men love the woman more. She just didn't love him. She chose to divorce him. 70% of divorces are filed by women. Women choose to leave relationships. And I think that's indicative of even non-marriages. Women choose to leave relationships more than men. And I believe that women are the ones to, more often than not, fall out of love with a man. So that's why I questioned it too. That a whole lot of women say, oh, a man need to love a woman more, the relationship work. Bunch of BS. And like I said, you don't listen to what women say, pay attention to what they do. You give them enough time, they will show you something different. Okay? Hell, you know what? Even listen to what women say. You let them keep talking, they're going to show you the hypocrisy in their point of views. This is the thing when, you hear women say that they're more empathetic, sympathetic than men. And yet, they think it's a good idea to keep a man that this is a thing where women do know. Women aren't stupid. They're not. I mean, no matter how, what men say about women, women aren't stupid. They know that a man likes them. To keep him around as a friend is honestly evil, in my opinion. It is diabolical. Because this is a thing where you are not doing that man any favor, and you really, it ain't a genuine friendship. Because a man like that will jump at a chance to be with you. A man like that is tortured seeing you with other people. So that is honestly, I really hate it when women, fringe ignorance to how a man would act when he's in the friend zone. And this is the thing, friend zone exists. I hate it when people say, oh, there's no such thing as friend zone. You're stupid. Absolutely stupid. 100% it does exist. Now, here's my part where holding men accountable. I believe men that stay or get put in the friend zone and fine with it and allow it, well, that's what you deserve. Because this is the thing where I hate it when men don't have boundaries themselves. Men don't have self-respect themselves. Do not allow a woman to put you in the friend zone, thinking that, you know what? You're not good enough to date, but you're good enough to be a friend. Practically, right? This is the thing. Friendship between boyfriend, right? Boyfriend and friend, the only difference is intimacy, right? That's the major, right? Not the only difference, but that's the major difference. Friends, you're still, talking emotionally, having fun with, having a deep connection with. So really, she just thinks that you are good enough to have all the boyfriend responsibilities, none of the benefits. So really, that's why I hold these men that are fine or stupid enough to be put in their friend zone. Well, whatever happens, your broken heart, your hurt emotions, whatever. Well, that's what you deserve, right? Because you obviously lack self-respect. You lack clear boundaries that you hold up. So this is the thing where I really think that men like this, and I get it. I've been there. I've done that. Okay. Is that they have fallen in love with someone, right? They think the friendship thing is like, you like the personality, you like her, you like her looks. What would make her even a better girlfriend when you like all those two already? So I get it why men would take the chance, be stupid, to stay in the friend zone for the hope that she would change her mind. But have some self-respect. Have some self-respect. Because honestly, if she does change her mind, it just shows you that you were her last pick. You were all the men that she does want, all the men that she is attracted to, didn't want her or didn't pan out. Now she's settling for you. Someone who's more safe, someone who's more dependable. Not someone that she's attracted to, not someone she wanted, someone she settled for. This is why have some self-respect.
Hey friends, out with the old and in with the new. No tools needed, no man needed. Put it in there, press it down, it stops the water. Press it down again, it releases the water. Drop anything in that sink accidentally, and guess what? No clogged drains, no man needed. Open this up, here it is right there. Girl, why you still here? Click that link and get a few of these. Bye now.
So just scrolling on TikTok, okay? Seeing a woman trying to, you know how they are. They're trying to sell these TikTok products, fine. And then it's like, no man needed. Okay, fine. Listen to it more. Again, no man needed. This is the thing where no one really talks about the propaganda or the ideology women love to push out. We always say that, oh, why don't men approach, or why does dating scene suck? Because we don't hold women accountable for the consequences that they pretty much perpetuated for years, saying you're strong, you're independent, you don't need no man. Well, guess what? Shit like that subconsciously affects men. It makes men say, okay, fine, you don't need me, then I will step aside. Shit like that, you wonder why. Oh, why do you think passport bros pop up? You said you don't need them. Oh, no, because they blame passport bros going for women that are less intelligent, women that are, disadvantaged. No, it's because of that ideology. You don't need no man. Women of other countries don't spew that shit out. They're not. So stop with. This is the thing where we always like to, say we don't need no man, and then demonize men for not wanting you. It's very, because what her little thing is very I guess innocent in nature, but still, you're still pushing out these propaganda, this kind of ideology. You don't realize it's hurtful or it's damaging to someone's psyche. This is the thing where it's funny that women claim to be emotionally intelligent, but they don't recognize their abusive or toxic language. When you say you don't need nobody, guess what? They view it as you don't need them. And then on the flip side, when you say you don't need them, they walk away from you, or they go to other women. You then still insult them. You still make them like, oh, you are looking for lesser women. You are whatever, all these things. Or you know what, men are creepy. That's why men are not asking you out on dates or whatever. Or men are sassy. Okay? Or let's say men are jerks. That's why there's a lonely man epidemic. Not because, oh, you know what, you contribute or built a society of toxicity where you don't need nobody, you don't need no man, and yet you complain about it. Yeah, it's the consequences of your actions. This is why men see that most women lack accountability, because they don't recognize the consequences of their words and actions.
Does anyone else just not want to be around other people? Like, I don't want to be perceived. I don't want to be looked at. I don't want anyone to look at me and have a thought about me. I love to be by myself. Like, no one is looking at me. No one's thinking about what I look like, what I'm doing, if I'm acting weird. I'm so comfortable in my solitude. And it's so weird because other people have so many other people in their lives. Like, they hang out with their friends. They do all this stuff with other people. They have a group of friends. I'm like, I can't even imagine what that'd be like. You can be around other people and actually relax and actually be your full personality. Is anyone else like this? Because I feel like it's not supposed to be like this. Like, I'm happy and I'm fine this way, but I almost feel like I'm missing out on like human connection, because human connection is so important, and I've just been ignoring it for like the past 3 years and just be like, no, I'm fine doing things by myself. Like, I'll go paddleboarding by myself, I'll go on runs by myself, everything by myself, because I can talk about whatever, or I could talk about a lot of stuff just to myself out loud. I could talk about nothing, be completely quiet the entire time, and I could listen to whatever music I want. I can leave when I want. I don't have to worry about what someone else wants to do or when they want to leave. Like, do you experience that, or am I just like a weird antisocial person?
This is a thing where that's not logic, that's emotion, right? She's speaking through emotion. Because this is a thing where she's speaking through trauma, through hurt, through fear, not through logic. Because if you are truly antisocial, why are you on social media? Why are you sharing yourself to the world, right? You are pretty much putting out your image, your views, your thoughts to the world, to interact with the world. So really, you're not antisocial. You are just scared. You're just insecure. Right? You're scared about, because you can listen to the things she say. It's like you can tell that she's scared. That, oh wow, you can actually show your personality to people. It's because she's been through trauma that, you know, people didn't like her personality, or she was scared to actually show who she is to people. And it happens. That's understandable, right? It's understandable to be scared. This is why a lot of men, like, you know, don't ask women out or whatever, because they understand the fear of being called a creep. You know, this is why, you know, this is the thing with being introverts, where, in my personal opinion, I don't think introverts want to be antisocial. It's just that it's how life is for them. They're not the most talkative. They're not the most, like, smooth talker, charming. You know, they stumble, they fumble, they, you know, again, they are very awkward. Okay, and it's not because, oh, I want to be awkward, I don't like people. No, it's because I personally, and this is not all, but in my personal opinion, I'm more introvert. I'm terrible at talking. Okay, you can see that, but I'm trying to improve. And it's not that I want to be antisocial. I don't think many people do. It's just that a lot of people see that, you know what, we are terrible at it. We're terrible at being social. We're terrible at making friends. We're terrible at how to talk to people that don't come out weird and creepy. So we just live in our flaws, right? We live in our flaws, we just make do. So that's the thing where I want to counter it, because it doesn't make sense to say that you want to be alone, but you say things like you don't want to. It's just how it is what it is, okay? Where, you know what, you don't want to be alone, but you're scared of the fear of rejection, the fear of being looked at weird, so you accept the loneliness. And I think that's the thing where I think a lot of people, and in this case, women, don't have good reflection skills. I always said that. I think for a man the part of the journey for a man to be the best version of himself is good self-reflection skills. Understand your flaws, right? Understand your problems. This is the thing where, to be honest, you don't need a therapist. You need to just think, right? You need to actually put your thoughts into your life, right? You know, reflect on your past, reflect on your actions, reflect on the type of person you are, reflect on how you are to the rest of the world. And a lot of times we don't do that. We don't do that, or we don't do it well. Like I said, I think most people, it's in their nature to be social, or want to be social. We want to have friends. We want to have partners. It's just that a lot of times we are just not good at it. We're awkward. We are perceived creepy. We are just not charming and smooth. So, you know, that's the thing where I don't think, and of course there's plenty of people who want to be truly lonely, but those people aren't online, right? They aren't online, because I think it's counterintuitive to the idea of being alone, right? Wanting to be alone, wanting to be antisocial, because you're sharing things with the rest of the world. You're being social. So, personal opinion.
Here's my biggest unpopular opinion. The prettiest girls don't get guys. Let me explain. Have you ever wondered why the prettiest girls are always single? I think for women, there are different degrees of pretty. There's like cute pretty, and then there's drop dead gorgeous pretty, like Nicole Scherzinger. If you're in the drop dead gorgeous category, chances are you're really intimidating to guys. They either think you must already have a boyfriend, or that you wouldn't even look in their direction, and because they fear rejection, they wouldn't dare come and speak to you. Guys love to flirt with women any chance they can get, but only with women that they think that they can easily get. Don't get me wrong, really pretty girls do get approached by guys sometimes, but typically it's guys that are way below their league, and like really ugly guys, because those guys don't have an ego. They don't really fear rejection because they get rejected all the time. If you feel like guys never approach you, but you notice that they're always staring, you're way prettier than you think. Yeah, if you're a really pretty girl and you're wondering if you're ugly because you never get approached by guys, just know that it's because they're probably scared.
In her same sentence, she said, the pretty girls do get approached just by ugly guys below her league. This is the thing with a lot of women where they're just not telling you the truth. Pretty women, between ugly to pretty, fat to skinny, whatever, all women, they have options. They have guys that want them. Hell, they even have guys that they wanting them. The issue is not that you don't have nobody. The issue is not that you don't have options. The issue is that you can't lock down the men you want. So even the pretty ones, right? They can get the men that they want. That's not the problem. They can only, but the actual problem is that they can only get sexual relationships, or, you know, non-committed relationships out of these said guys. Because guess what? The pretty ones, just like the non-pretty ones, want top tier men, the 1%, rare men. Because why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you? You're pretty, you're top tier, you're amazing, whatever. So you want a man that's amazing. But here's the thing, in most women's eyes, most men are not amazing. Most men are not top tier or anything special. So the men that woman, okay, a woman that's pretty, would want, why wouldn't the uglier women want him as well? Why did the more average women want him as well? This is the thing where, let's say the 8s or the 9s, the men that those women want, guess what? The 6, the 5, the 4, and so on to want that man too. So I'm not saying that he would, be fine with the lower value women, but in his mind, it's like he has to pick up the options. And in a lot of men's mind, whether true or not, they are not in a rush. They have time on their hand. They can be bachelors well into their later years. Hell, some of them don't even need to marry. Some of them, they can still have kids, so that's not the biggest deal. So really, this is why a lot of women like this, they are their own worst enemy. You want certain men, cool. But guess what? The certain men you want, well, all women want him. Even women that are just as good looking as you want him, or even better looking as you want him. So really, it's not that pretty women can't get men, or they're single, because it's actually that they can't get or lock down the men that they want. Because the men that they want, well, all women want him.
I got an STD because of TikTok, because I met a huge creator here, dated him, and he deliberately gave me an STD knowing that he had it, me and multiple other girls. Curable STD, thank God. And now he's making hyper-Christian content, go figure. But also because of TikTok, when I made videos exposing him and calling him out, you guys, nearly 1 million of you guys, stood behind me, supported me, and gave me my voice. Thank you. I love you so much. This app put me through probably one of the worst times of my life ever.
That's an old video. I mean, I think of an old story. I found a while back. I just, now I'm getting around to doing a reaction of it. Women will blame everyone but themselves. This is why a lot of people say accountability is women's kryptonite. You blame TikTok for you choosing a man, for you barely knowing a man, assuming you know him because of TikTok, because of social media. You watch because of social media, and then giving him your body very quickly. I guarantee you, very quickly. Getting in a relationship with a man you barely know and giving him your body. And you blame TikTok for your actions, for you choosing a man, for you choosing to sleep with a man. That is the insanity of women. You will blame everyone but yourself for the actions you made. TikTok does not benefit from you choosing the man you want to sleep with. TikTok doesn't care. And this is the thing where I want to say that if women actually understand accountability, it's actually more beneficial. Because if she had understood accountability, she would recognize that it was her fault, that she barely knew the man. She only judged him because of his fame, and then gave him her body so quickly, got into a relationship with him so quickly, with actually barely knowing him, right? Barely vetting him, like understanding his life, right? This is the thing where this advice has been around for ages. Vet a man properly. Don't rush to give a man your body. I mean, it's like how, she didn't say no detail, but I'm quite sure with how women think. They barely knew him. She barely knew him before she got into a relationship with him. And this is the thing where I find it really weird with women, where you get what people think celebrities or internet famous or just anyone that's famous, and then you're surprised that they have more than one woman. You're surprised that they're not monogamous in nature. I'm sorry, entertainers, streamers, athletes, CEOs, 6-figure men, 7-figure men. I'm not saying these men are automatically cheaters or automatically non-monogamous, but I'm saying the likelihood of them being cheaters and non-monogamous is very high. And this is why you actually, if you get a chance with any one of them, how about take your time? Take your time and get to know them. Get to know what that, if they have to rush to get your body, that's a red flag. That has to tell you that, oh, maybe, that's all they're about. That's why accountability gives you a better skill to self-reflect, to understand that, you know what, I value my body, I value myself, so I'm not just going to give it to someone so quickly. And if I did, well, it's my fault. I didn't take the time to learn the person, vet the person, know the person, okay? And I made a mistake. Not some app did it, not someone else did it. That's insane. And I also want to say this. This is a problem, another cop-out with women. They use social media for validation, for support. Understandable that you want support, but here's the thing where it's kind of nasty. It's a support where it takes away your accountability, okay? It validates your opinions, your bad decisions, your, I don't know, just bad thoughts. It's like, oh, he doesn't deserve you. Oh, he was the one who's wrong. Oh, he was terrible. It literally helps take away your accountability, so you'll be fine. So you're not dwelling on what you did wrong. No, you push the blame to other things. I'm the one of the few creators, at least I ever seen, that male creators that would be 100% in support of women decentering men. women like this, if it's no need for you to pick me when I already choose myself a long time ago. This is the thing where women that are happy single, I'm in 100% support of women decentering men. Don't stop completely for the rest of your life dating men, interacting with men, dealing with men. I 100% support women just stop dealing with men. Because here's my opinion, where women like this, where, cool, what she says, I believe reality is different. Because I think women like this still deal with men, still date men, still entertain men. But if they don't, awesome. But the problem is that women with this mentality do. So you have this mentality that I'm better off alone, yet you're still dealing with men. And this is why I say, if women like this truly decenter men, truly stop dealing with men, I honestly believe women will accomplish what they have been saying, what they wanted for a long time. Men's content to disappear. You know, Redpill and all that shit. Because here's the thing, women like this, if they're gone from the dating market completely, utterly, what would men have to complain about? What would men have to complain about? At least, I think a good chunk of men's content would disappear. Because you wouldn't have to talk about the women that have high standards, because honestly, you know, they would rather be alone. You wouldn't talk about women that are bitter, aggressive, whatever, all these things that men do talk about. They would be alone. They would rather be alone, which is awesome. This is not no, I'm not being sarcastic or whatever. I'm in 100% support of women that have the mindset that they need no man, they want no man, they choose themselves, awesome, they're happily single, to stay single, to just be by yourself for the rest of your life. Don't change it up. The problem is they do change it up. But if you don't change it up, I'm in big support of it. Because I think women like this are just, they're not suited for partnership. Their mentality, just how they go about life is just not suited for partnerships. So, you know, I would disagree with the men that want, you know, that still, you know, try to get these women to settle down or try to get these women into a relationship. No, I think men should stop that. The women that are happily single, men should stay away from. Why, if you are happily single, do you want to change that? I would say that the same thing to men. If you are happily single, stay single. Don't be with other people. So, you know, I just think that we don't recognize the things we say. I think wording like that, mindset like this, well, it's what's the problem in your dating life, if you are actually dating. So, if you have this mindset, stay single. Period.
See, I'm hot, so I'm allowed to be dumb. But guys can't be hot and dumb. I just saw the hottest guy I've ever seen at Sheets, and totally would have given him my number like he asked if he wasn't fucking serving me my food at Sheets. I'm sorry, you're beautiful, but work at Sheets? There's a big difference. Like, I could be pretty and dumb. You can't be pretty and dumb and work at Sheets. I'm unemployed, but still, it doesn't matter.
You know, this is a thing where I'm seeing more and more. I think the biggest thing that is hurting the dating community is ego. In particular, women's ego. It is next level insane. Next level insane. This is the thing where average women, that woman, I think she was a cute 6, adjustable 6, maybe at best a 7, but I say a high 6. And this is the thing, that's the ego, okay? Basically average but cute. And yet, this is why dating sucks. Because we have women that are okay, 6, they're cute, they're some most average, but they have such high egos. Because one, they themselves believe that they are 10s, and other women inflate their egos. Because you see it, right? Women are calling other women beautiful, gorgeous, perfect 10s. They're goddesses, they are whatever. You see it every day. Women are hyping other women up. So, in turn, inflating their ego. So now we have these women with high egos, basically narcissists. So, these women now view any man that's maybe their level or even above. If there's any flaws, he's below her. This woman that is like a 6, unemployed, seeing a man that she thought she was attractive, but even though he's attractive, i.e. maybe her level, maybe a little bit more in attraction level, he's below her because he has a job that she views less than, while she is average looking, unemployed. Where's the basis for her ego? This is what I'm saying, why the dating market sucks. One of the reasons is because so many women have such high inflated ego, and it makes how their dating selection goes terrible, where they view most men unattractive, where they view most men don't qualify for them, where even the men that do qualify for them, they are very strict with those men, in the sense that, you know what, if you, let's say, like this man is attractive, but you know what, his job ain't that great. Boom, he's done. It's like, seriously, this is why I have no sympathy for women when it comes to dating. Women constantly complain about dating, but in my opinion, for women, they are the root of their own problems, not men, Because, like I said, here's an attractive man she's attracted to. In her eyes, he's below her because he has a job she doesn't like, while she's unemployed. That is the delusion. That is absolute insane ego. That is honestly borderline narcissistic.
Men who are not pieces of shit don't give a fuck when you talk bad about the shitty ones. Men who are not pieces of shit don't give a fuck when you talk bad about the shitty ones.
You know why when women's logic sucks, or it's not really logical, you can't really apply that to anything else besides their delusion. Because here's the thing, okay, fine. If you know, men don't give it, like, if men aren't pieces of shit, they shouldn't care if you talk bad about men, okay? Bad about the piece of shit of men. Could you apply that when you talk about racists? Like, oh, black people shouldn't give a shit when you talk about the bad black people. No, because I got plenty of videos, right, pointing out the negativities in the culture. Get called racist. Same thing with women. You know, when you say things like, you talk about the bad women, it's like, not all women. Well, you're misogynist, all that stuff. Really? So it seems like that logic only applies one way to your logic. Anything else, when you flip it, when you use that same logic for other, ideologies or other topics, it doesn't make sense, or it's not really applied, it's not really accepted. Then does not seem like it's not really logical, or it's not really implemented the same way. That's something that really, this is why women logic fails. Because here's the thing, why do men care? Why do men care? If you're not a piece of shit, you shouldn't care, right? Because here's the thing, women do a blanket statement. Because I've said this before, it's not men that are pieces of shit. It's men that you choose. It's men that you deal with. Usually, not all cases, usually the men that women date that are abusers, liars, cheaters, womenizers, whatever. It's the men that women choose. So when you say men are pieces of shit, no. I was like, you gotta correct it. You gotta be more specific. No, men that you want, men that you've chosen, men that you've given your body to, men that you married, men that you get kids to. Those men are pieces of shit. Because this is the thing, why distinction? Because it shows you that, you know what, the onus is on you. You chose the piece of shit men. So men are not pieces of shit, just the men that you wanted. Because this is the thing where we need to be more accountable for our actions. Everyone knows there are good and bad people in any demographic. Both women, both men, both races, both whatever. They're good and bad people. But to make a good distinction is, why are you choosing the bad ones?
If a man brings nothing to the table but great sex and attractiveness, what does that make him?
Scrub.
And if a woman brings nothing to the table but great sex and great looks, is she the same scrub?
Well, it all depends.
If a man...
This is the thing why I said, women don't base their logic on actual logic. It's all emotion. Because 100%, women know if a man, all he has is sex, he's not that special, right? You put him in a category that he's all for sex. So why do you surprise that men don't take women seriously if all they bring to the table is their body? And men will gladly accept it. Men will gladly accept your body. But here's the thing. If your beauty and your body is all you give to a man, guess what? He's going to judge you on just that. This is why men don't care about women's money, nor do they care about women's accomplishments, women's jobs or careers, because honestly, women don't provide for men. Women, their careers don't benefit men. Their bank account don't benefit men. Guess what benefits men? Their body, their youth, their beauty. Because that's what women freely give men. No stipulation, women would gladly sleep with men on the first night. But money, God forbid women pay for a date. God forbid women actually, contribute 50-50. No, it's providership all the way. So this is a thing where women have to understand why men act the way they act. Honestly, it's because of you. It's because of you. You want men to change. Okay, men can change. Why have women not? Because here's the thing where women seem to care less and less about their bodies nowadays than ever before. Women would be fine with being in situationships, doing hookup culture, sleeping on the first night, and then surprised that men don't commit to women. Men are gladly using women, objectifying women, you did it yourself. You would think that sexual freedom meant women would be more strict with their body. But here's the thing. Women are strict with their bodies with men they're not attracted to. But guess what? The men that they are attracted to, first night, you got the drawers. You got the draws. Hookup cultures galore. You are fine with having a roster of men dealing with you. It shows you that women are really their own enemy when it comes to dating. Also, this is the hypocrisy. You say it one way, but when you apply it the reverse, it doesn't make sense or it's not true. That is why women's logic is faltered, is delusional. It's not logic. Because if you believe a man that all he gives you is sex, he's a scrub, yet you can't switch it around, that shows you that, you know what, maybe your logic is flawed. Or, of course, you're biased. You're biased. So really, you're not that logical. You know, women continue to prove men right. Accountability is like kryptonite to women. Women will blame everyone else but themselves for the results of their life. A female becomes a reflection of how you treat her. So if you don't like how she's acting, look at how you're treating her. That shit don't make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? Why doesn't it not make sense? Because it's like, let's flip it. Let's flip it. Because if women agree in the reverse, then okay, maybe it does make sense. A man becomes a reflection of how you treat him. So if you don't like how he's acting, look at how you're treating him. Would women agree to that? Would women really agree to that? Let's say if he's violent to her. Is it her fault? Is it her fault that he's violent to her? No, it's not. It's 100% his fault. Don't blame the victim, right? Don't blame the victim. It's like, this is why a lot of times women are terrible at conversations. Because their conversations is wholeheartedly based on emotion, not logic. Because if you reverse their logic, they will never agree to it. They will never see it as the man side. It's fine if you gear that logic towards women, they think that's logical. But no, if you reverse it to fit a man, no, it's not logical. It's 100% don't agree with. Because it's just literally, women like this, with this kind of mindset, they want to shirk responsibility. They want to blame everyone else for how they are, how they treat other people. It is your fault how I treat you. Not my fault, your fault. And then you wonder why, okay, men are not inclined to dating, or why men do the passport bro things. You want, it's like, this is the thing where it's not that hard to understand why men do the things they do, because women will prove it. Women will prove why men do the things they do, why men think the way they think. Because women have proven and shapen men's ideology. Shit that men say, let's say on men's content, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's thanks to women.
Raping foids should be a human right. Imagine going to jail for raping a foid simply because you acted on your biological needs. By that logic, shouldn't I go to jail for eating when I'm hungry or drinking when I'm thirsty? These whores need to shut up and accept their place as obedient cum dumpsters. Why foids say rape is so terrible? Most of the times it's literally just having sex with an unattractive guy. I'm talking only about heterosexual foids. It isn't rape if it's a Chad because they wouldn't have any problem having sex with Chad. The same way heterosexual men wouldn't have any problem having sex with women. If you talk about foids raping men, men will literally talk about it as a joke or a good thing. So my opinion is that foids are so obsessed with rape because they are disgusted by unattractive guys, because Chad is never a rapist or a harasser. Foids already want them. I find it ridiculous how rapists get so many years in prison. In a natural society, heterosexual rape wouldn't have any social stigma. Foids don't hate rapists. A lot of them have rape fantasies by Chads. They hate us. A foid being raped is never a tragedy. I agree. Entitled hypergamous women don't deserve free agency of their own body.
That is not logical. Eating and drinking does not hurt anybody. This is a thing where I believe, I don't even know what Floyds are. I don't know what that is, okay? But what I do want to say is that people like that shouldn't get jail time. What I do believe is that they should be chemically, if not physically, castrated. That is their punishment. Where you should not have any sexual urges ever again. That should be a punishment. I think that is the rightful punishment. Who needs jail time? You don't need to more bother the system. You don't need to burden the system. You don't need to burden taxpayers with jail time. Do one and done surgery. That's it. Chemically castrated for the rest of your life. Chemically or physically, because honestly, you don't need to reproduce. Essentially, that is what procreating does. So you don't need to reproduce. Make sure you don't ever get to reproduce, and hopefully make sure you never get to have sexual urges again. I believe there is, treatments like that. I believe so. This is a thing where I find it stupid. Where I like to go about things where it's logical morality. Not because I'm not really a religious person, so I'm trying to push this across. Logical morality. Why would you want to force something onto someone that doesn't want it? That doesn't seem logical. Now, I'm a believer in free speech. They could say all the shit that they want to say. I don't give a shit. But when you physically harm others, when you physically impose onto others, that's where I draw the line. That is where, you know what? Why would you want to physically, right, hurt others? Because here's the thing: with those type of people want to be raped themselves, right? Get go to prison. One of those prisoners and rape them. Would they like that? Would they like that? Because if you wouldn't like that, why would you think it is right for other people to want that, or right for you to impose that kind of action onto other people? That's logical morality. Stop it. If you wouldn't accept it, why should others? That's the thing. That's the thing where I like to. That's why I'm trying to spread, logical morality. Since I'm not really a religious person, I want to see if I can get that across. But it's logical morality. Right? It's like the whole, what is that saying where if, what is it? I forgot what is it. I forgot what it is. Was it you wouldn't want to treat others how you want to be treated. Yes, that is the thing. Treat others how you want to be treated. Now, if people treat you with disrespect, well, that's them. That's them. Don't lower your character, your moralities to other people. We don't have enough people living by that kind of ideology. Stop it. Stop treating people, okay, how you wouldn't accept that treatment. None of those disgusting creatures would be fine with getting abused or raped, okay, or raped. None of those. So really, you should not have the right to impose that abuse onto others. It is disgusting.
And notice there are no stories of men coming out saying they pay dating coaches $10,000 to help them meet some random woman on a dating app. Men are not paying $10,000 to meet random women on dating apps from random dating coaches online.
You're right. There's no stories, right? No published stories of men doing that. But men are more desperate than women. Men are more desperate than women. Men don't have it as easy as women. It's just like a lot of women are just bitter because that other woman paid 10K and at least she got a man out of it. Okay. This man paid 10K. He got a hug, a photo op, and he helped fund the couple's vacation. He's more pathetic. So it's like, you know what? It's like, we gotta stop being bitter. Wow, she paid 10K and she met a man. Okay. You pay for results. Pay for results. That man got no results. The woman that paid 10K, she got results. What are you on about? It's like, oh, what, women are desperate? No, they're not. Well, no, women are desperate, but let's not compare it. Men are a lot more desperate. Just be happy. Right? I would say, you can say a lot of things about it, but comparing it to each other is like, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, seriously. I would say this, right? Women don't really need to pay 10K to get a man. They really don't. It's not that hard for women. It's relatively easy. Maybe she paid it so she can meet a certain type of man, but she met the man on a dating app. It's not really necessarily a true matchmaking thing, right? So this is a thing where there's ways to critique it, but what she was doing is comparing it to, oh, men don't do it. Okay, men do worse. Men pay just for a photo op. I mean, so what? I critique the whole women that paid 10K for whatever to meet a man, but comparing it to men is really a stupid take.